They thought she would cry. That she would run away, humiliated and broken. But what they didn't know was that this girl had learned how to fight long before she ever stepped into that school. It was a bright Friday afternoon when everything changed for 14-year-old Liana. The schoolyard buzzed with end-of-week excitement. Laughter echoed through the hallways. The air was thick with the scent of cheap cafeteria pizza and the sound of sneakers squeaking on polished floors. Liana, dressed in a simple yellow shirt and jeans, stood at her locker with her two best friends, Jade and Mariah, talking about the upcoming art competition. Her laughter was free, her eyes bright. For a moment, she felt safe. But safety was never a guarantee for girls like Liana. Ever since middle school began, she'd been a target. Her calm nature, second-hand clothes, and quiet intellect made her a magnet for cruelty. The bullies didn't know anything about her story. They didn't know about the nights she spent sleeping on her aunt's couch after her father left. They didn't know how hard her mother worked double shifts to pay rent. They didn't care. Especially Tyler. Tyler was the kind of boy who cruised through life with a cocky smile and a pack of followers trailing behind him. He was the self-declared king of the 8th grade. He mocked, shoved, and laughed, never held accountable. Teachers saw him as just a kid who needed direction. But Liana saw him for what he was, a predator in sneakers. That Friday, he waited until the hallway thinned out. He saw her, standing by the lockers. He smirked. "Hey Liana," he called out loudly, walking toward her with his gang. She turned, sensing something wrong. Her friends stepped back instinctively, their faces uneasy. Tyler stopped inches from her. "That your only shirt," he sneered. "My dog's got better clothes." Then, with a swift tug, he reached out and tore the neckline of her shirt. The thin fabric gave way with an awful ripping sound. A sharp silence fell. Liana stood frozen, her breath caught in her chest. Shock. Embarrassment. Anger. The pain of every insult, every shove, every whisper behind her back surged all at once. Her eyes stung, not with tears, but with fire. Tyler laughed. His friends chuckled nervously. Liana looked at him, really looked at him. And in that split second, something inside her snapped. Without a word, she stepped forward. Her fist connected with Tyler's nose in a clean, direct punch. A sickening crunch echoed in the hallway as he stumbled back, blood pouring from his face. His laughter vanished. Everyone froze. Even the teachers who came running seemed unsure of what to say. Liana's chest heaved. She looked down at her torn shirt, then back at the boy who had tried to humiliate her. But this time, there was no fear in her eyes. The principal's office was cold and stiff. Liana sat across from Principal Hartman, her shirt now covered by Jade's hoodie, her hands still trembling. Her mother had been called. Her mother, tired, fierce, and never far when her daughter needed her, walked in with fire in her eyes. Before the principal could speak, she raised a hand. "Let me make this clear." My daughter defended herself. "If you want to suspend her for that, go ahead. But you better also suspend the boy who assaulted her in front of the entire school." Principal Hartman tried to maintain his authority, but the truth was evident. Security cameras had captured the whole thing. Liana wasn't just a victim, she had stood up for herself when no one else would. The school couldn't ignore it this time. Tyler was suspended. Parents were notified. Teachers started whispering about the incident in the hallway. Students looked at Liana differently, not with pity anymore, but with awe. But for Liana, the real change didn't come from the suspension. It came in the quiet moments after. In the days that followed, girls she barely knew approached her with quiet words of thanks. One said she was tired of Tyler snapping her bra strap in gym. Another whispered about how he shoved her down the stairs once. They had all carried their own shame in silence. Liana had shattered that silence. With her mother's support, she filed a report with the school board. An investigation was opened. Policies were reviewed. Counselors were brought in. The school held an assembly about bullying, respect, and consent. It wasn't perfect, but it was a start. More than anything, Liana began to reclaim herself. She joined a local boxing gym, not out of violence, but for discipline, for strength. With every punch she threw into the bag, she let go of the anger, the fear, the helplessness. One afternoon, months later, she stood before her classmates as the keynote speaker at the school's anti-bullying week. She looked out at the sea of faces, some supportive, some skeptical, some changed. "I didn't punch Tyler because I wanted to hurt someone," she began, voice steady. "I punched him because he crossed a line that should never have been crossed. And I stood up, because no one else did." There was silence. Then applause. Real, genuine applause. Liana had gone from being the quiet girl to the girl who spoke. Who stood. Who broke the nose of the boy who thought humiliation was funny, and in doing so, shattered the silence that kept too many others quiet. In the end, Liana didn't become a hero because she fought back. She became one because she refused to stay silent.